In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can get the Platinum Trophy in Cyberpunk 2077 with a single run. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Cyberpunk 2077. So, Cyberpunk 2077 has 14 missable trophies. So, if you do not play through it carefully, you can miss them. So, we're going to go through some of the ones that are just really kind of crazy and missable. There's a lot of them that are just tough. But we'll go through the missable ones first. I think the ones that are really strange are the ones that require you to spec out into a particular tree. Right, so if you go into Cyberpunk, you've got attribute points, and you can only spec so many attribute points. I think it's something like I forget the number, but you cannot spec into everything. So you basically, my advice to you is to spec into body, right? So go for at least 16 in body and at least 20 in crafting. That would be my advice if you're going for the trophy, because you need a 10 out of 10 trophy. Let's see if we can find that. That's actually right here. This is only 4% of people get that. You need to get max level in skill. You want to do that in crafting because there's another crafting trophy, Master Crafter. So let's see if we can find it. Here we go. Master Crafter, craft 3 legendary items. You have to spec 18 attribute points in technical ability to get to that. So you might as well just spec the full 20 and then get to level 18 in craft, or level 20 in crafting. And crafting is probably the easiest skills to get level 20 in, because you just craft a bunch of grenades, basically, or something like that. You just need a big stack of crafting items to do that, but you can do it almost instantaneously. It's also a great exploit just to make money, and that'll help you, for instance, with the car trophy. So that'll get you 10 out of 10, and Master Crafter. We've talked about V for Vendetta. You need to spec 16 in body to get the second heart. Otherwise, you can't get it from a Ripper Doc. And then the second, then you need to trigger that. But if you don't have 16 in body by the end of your playthrough, by the time you hit level 50, then you're out of luck. You have to do another playthrough if you want to get V for Vendetta. Stanislavski method, that's not a terribly hard one. You just need to do 10 dialogue options associated with your life path. There's 3 life paths to start out with. Just make sure that you select those like right away. I don't really think that the dialogue options typically matter much. This is like 40% get this one, so that's a pretty common one, but it is missable because you can get the end of the story and then there'll be no more life path dialogues. You know, you might get some in the gigs. I kind of doubt it. Just always do the life path option, I would say, early on, and then just you get that quickly. And that's what a lot of people do. And then there's all these trophies that are missable. So you get to Act 3 and you get Nocturne, that final mission, really quickly. And what you want to focus on in Act 3 is that you want to focus on helping out all your friends, right? And so all your friends are going to be basically... So one of them is 2 bad decisions, Kerry Uridine. So do everything that Kerry wants you to do, except for when you get to the pop stars, don't kill them, just talk to them. That would be my advice. And then that'll get you to 2 bad decisions. And then there's like to protect and serve, right? So do all the crazy stuff that River Ward does. Do everything he wants you to do, right? Judy. Do everything Judy wants you to do. Bushido and Chill. That is actually one of the more tricky ones to get down the rogue storyline. Let's focus on that one, because there are some dialogue options you can just really mess up on. So you want to do all Pan Am's. Sorry, that's not Pan Am. We want to do all. You want to get the side job Chipping In, and then you want to get Blistering Love. But Chipping In is very missable because you go to Johnny's grave, and then when you're talking to him, you need to befriend him. But the dialogues are kind of weird. So, the guy who saved my life, you want to say, nah, you F that up too. What do you want from me? Okay. But as second chances go, this is your last. You were a real something in the beginning. When you said you let down your friends, Smasher Biz really got to her. Yeah, I'll call Rogue. So there's actually, I found you really want to consult a guide. This is not a complete guide on that, but when you get to the Chipping In mission and you get to Johnny's grave, you want to do the cheats on that, because the dialogues are really difficult. So that is definitely one that you could miss if you get you don't go down Rogue storyline, if you don't talk to Johnny the right way. And it's not obvious. Sometimes you're going to kind of like say he's full of it, and sometimes you're going to be sympathetic, and then you need to take Rogue out on a date, right? And Johnny taking over. So that's probably one of the hardest friends ones. So there's Life on the Road. So do all the crazy stuff that Pan Am wants you to do. And then the Breathtaking trophy, that some people miss that because you need to make sure that you get the pants in Psychofan, right? So you need to kind of go down the Rogue storyline, but you also there's a gig called Psychofan that I think is in Haywood that you could miss Johnny's pants. And you just want to loot everything in that Psychofans guy's place, and I think they're in like his luggage, right? And Johnny's whole outfit is actually pretty good armor, probably great armor set to get if you're only playing through one time. Just wear all of Johnny's stuff, and then just upgrade that using your crafting. And then there are the ending ones. Okay, so if you've gone down and helped out all your friends, you've helped out, you've gone down the Rogue storyline, you've gone down the Pan Am storyline, then you're gonna unlock all the different endings, right? Now River Ward and Kerry Uridine, and I think even Judy is not going to affect the endings, but you need to unlock all the Rogue storyline, and you need to unlock all of the Pan Am storyline, but you want to unlock all these if you're going for Platinum. But for the endings, you need the Rogue and Pan Am storyline to be unlocked so that you can do all the different endings. So those are totally missable. So the other thing is the devil ending is totally missable too. So you always have the option to go with in the ending. You always have the option to side with Arasaka, with Arasaka's heiress. But if you let Takamura die, then you're messed up. You're never going to get the devil ending because Takamura needs to come to you at the end. I think it was on the moon or in the space station or wherever, And if he doesn't come to you, you don't get the devil ending, and you're just you're out of luck. Right? So to get the devil ending, what you need to do is you need in the mission Search and Destroy. Johnny's going to tell you, get out of there, get out of there, and get out of there when the bomb goes off. But above you is where Takamura is. And you want to not listen to Johnny. You don't want to leave the place until you get Takamura out of there. So you have to save Takamura. And so what you want to do is you want to unlock all these endings before Nocturne, that final mission, the point of no return. Save there. And you're going to do all those endings at the end. So you do one after the other, right? So you're going to side with Arasaka. You're going to side with Pan Am. You're going to side with Rogue for the ending. The only the secret ending is not a trophy, right? So the one where you just like storm Arasaka Tower on your own, that's not a trophy. But the devil, side with Takamura, and then the star, you're siding with Rogue. You'd have a Rogue get you into Arasaka Tower. And then the sun, you're siding with Pan Am. You're getting the Aldecados to get you into Arasaka Tower. Okay, so those are the missable ones, right? And then we're going to go through some that are difficult but not missable. So frequent flyer, I've got a video on that. You should watch that video if you are missing some data terms, you're missing some fast travels. There are no secret fast travels, but there are a lot of them, and they have changed since the beginning of the game. So I think since 1.5, they've added new fast travels. So if you're looking at a video that is before 1.5, I'm recording this at 1.6, there are new fast travels specifically with respect to the apartments. So I would say watch my video for that. But don't worry, there's nothing secret. There's not like one in a special location that you have to go through and you'll only see as part of a main story mission. No, not a problem. Okay, so rough landing. While Berserk Cyberware is active, perform a superhero landing, kill or incapacitate 2 enemies. I'll probably make a video on that. At the time of recording, I don't think I have, but yeah, maybe I have. I don't know. The key here is you want to find a spot, and I think there was a spot in Haywood I used, and you want to get their health down. So I used like biohazard grenades on them to like get their health down, so that when you do that superhero landing with your Berserk Cyberware active, it would kill them, because the Berserk superhero landing doesn't do a lot of damage unless they're really low level people, and you have to jump from above, and you have to kill 2 at once. Okay, Autojock. You're going to need a lot of money, so you can use the crafting exploit to get a lot of money. We got a lot of, I think it's 1.7 million. You're going to get, as you work through the gigs and work with the fixers, they're going to give you more and more cars to buy. You want to buy all the cars. I don't believe this trophy includes the cars that are part of story missions, so I think there's like a car, if you go down there's like a car reward you get for one of the gigs. I don't think that counts. There's like a car that you would get if you go down the Nomad path, which you don't get in the other path. It's only for the cars that you buy, right? But you need 1.7 million eddies to get that. So you're going to need a lot of money, so you might as well do the glitches. Gunslinger, shoot an enemy grenade midair with a revolver. I got a video on that where we're actually aggroing people on Corpo Plaza, and we kill one civilian to aggro the police. You don't want to kill any police because you don't want all the police to come. You only want 1 star, not 2. And you want to hide behind things so that they're going to throw grenades occasionally. And you have to use a revolver. So that's a pistol, that's a revolver, right? So it doesn't matter how good it is. It helps maybe if you have the Sandevistan, because that'll slow time for you. You're more likely to be able to shoot it midair. But it's not easy, but it's doable, and you can do it at any time in the game. It's not missable. Okay. Let's see. We're the Wasteland. You want to complete all NCPD scanner hustles in the Badlands, right? So all the scanner hustles they take a while. So you want to do the gigs and the scanner hustles. The other thing is to keep in mind, I don't think for the Wasteland you had to go there at night, but you also need to you want to be street cred 50 when you're doing those. If you've not hit those trophies, so you can start them before your street cred 50, but there are some gigs that you may not get until your street cred 50. The other thing is sometimes they're at night, and you've also want to have met Rogue. So if you started Ghost Town, you meet Rogue, and Rogue is going to be the fixer for some of those, right? And some of those seemed... So, for instance, I would say... so there's Greetings from Pacifica. That one, for instance, is story lock, so you have to complete the Voodoo Boys storyline, and after that you repeat... so you have to be fairly far in Act 2. Mean Streets, the Haywood scanner hustles. So, for instance, the last one, that you need to be driving around Haywood at night after you've met Rogue, and then she'll give you that job, the final job, or maybe not the final, but she'll give you that job, that gig. Daemon in the Shell, that is just the detonate grenade quick hack. Very easy to do. You just try that a few times. That's one of the easier ones. It's just, I guess people why is it so rare? I don't know. You don't really need to spec into intelligence or anything. You just need to have a RAM deck on. So if you don't have a RAM deck on, you can't do quick hacks. So install a RAM deck. So, at certain points you want to have a RAM deck. Certain points you want to have a Sandevistan. Certain points you want to have a Berserk. You're going to install all those things on in your playthrough if you're going to get the Platinum. Little Tokyo, gigs and scanner hustles in Westbrook. The Jungle, Santo Domingo, City Lights and City Center. It's Elementary in Watson. So Watson, in particular, you have to go to Westbrook for one of those gigs. There's one gig at the funeral, not at the funeral parlor, but at the graveyard. It's not a graveyard, but it's like mausoleum. You go to the mausoleum, and there's one gig in Westbrook that is part of Watson. I actually don't think you need to do the Cyber Psychos in the areas, but you might as well do all the Cyber Psychos in the area if you haven't hit it yet. And like I said, you go at night, and you also want to have Street Cred 50. So for all these are kind of some of the hardest ones, but they're just do all the gigs, do all the scanner hustles. Okay, so I think we're past like the really hard ones, the ultra rare. And then the Temperance ending. So you're going to go down. So you want to have a save before you get into the... So I think if you go down... I think you can do the Temperance ending as part... before you... So you can like do the Sun and Temperance ending or the Star and Temperance ending. So if you... to get the Star, you need to keep... V needs to keep his or her body. To get the Sun, the V needs to keep his or her body. But with Temperance, at one of those points where you're in the place, you say, you give the body to Johnny, and then you go down Johnny's path, and you get a few quests and complete that. Right, so but it's not like right after these things. You have to like get to the credits essentially, and before these things pop. And Temperance is Temperance is missable, right? Because if you've not done the work to get either Pan Am's ending or Rogue's ending, then you won't be able to do Temperance. Okay, Must Be Rats. I did like a 1.5 playthroughs on the PS5, and I did all for most of them. I actually did a Netrunner build, and quick hacking build. It's just the distract enemies quick hack 30 times, but I still had to like install a RAM deck and like do that after I'd like gone down a Sandevistan build the second playthrough or something, or towards the end I like didn't spec any more into that. But anyways, it's very doable. You can do it all at once, but it's also like it's not something you would do because it doesn't, they end up saying huh, and you just wouldn't do like the distract enemies quick hack probably in your playthrough, even though you have a RAM deck on. But you need to have a RAM deck on. So 30 times. 2 heads, 1 bullet. This was really difficult. I probably will make a video on it. I've not made it yet, but so the best way to do 2 heads, 1 bullet is to do a non-lethal takedown of 2 people, right? 2 gangbangers, right? So, like, go to Pacifica, find some scavengers, put those 2 right next to each other. If there's a third one, kill them, right? And do those 2 non-lethal takedowns so you can line up, right? It's actually not hard to line up 2 heads even when they're moving, but you might as well just do it like super easy. But the key thing is that if you have a sniper rifle that is not a tech sniper, so there are power sniper rifles and tech sniper rifles. And so with tech sniper rifles, you need to hold down the trigger finger until it's fully charged and then release it. But if you don't have a tech sniper rifle, only the first head will blow up and the second head will not, right? And that just like, it was so frustrating. And that's, but that's the secret, that you must use a tech sniper rifle. Doesn't matter how powerful or good it is. But I think Nekomata is a tech sniper rifle. I'll have to check. But, you'd craft one, buy one, get one, hold down that key, do the non-lethal takedown for 2 gangsters, put them in so there's no way you can miss, and then you'll get it. If it's fully charged. If it's not fully charged, then you'll only blow up 1 head. Okay, the sun. So we talked about the sun ending. That's going down the rogue ending, and choosing the body of V chooses to keep her body, or his or her body. 2 bad decisions. Kerry, you're dying. Quicken the dead. Kill or incapacitate 50 enemies while time is slowed. So there you go. If you use a Sandevistan a lot, you should get this fairly easily. If you're not using a Sandevistan, why aren't you? So, it's possible your Krasnikov. There's also there's another thing that slows time, but if you play with the Sandevistan for a while, these should be fairly easy to do. Breathtaking. Collect all of Johnny's stuff. So you want to make sure that. I think that let's go back to the Breathtaking. I talked about the pants, but there's also an issue that you know, when you get his car, you want to not kill the guy and trust the guy and he's gonna. I think he's gonna. Otherwise, you won't get his car. I think the car is the one you could miss out on. So you go down chipping in, and there's gonna be some dude you find. The Porsche 911, yeah. And don't draw your weapon on Grayson. Put the weapon away. Right? I think Grayson is the guy that's going to show you where the Porsche is. Otherwise, you'll miss it. Okay, we talked about Master Crafter. We talked about the Star. So that Star is Aldecado's, the Sun is Rogue. Okay, maybe I messed that up, but Wandering Fool, find all the Tarot graffiti for the job, the Fool in the Hill. This is really easy to get. They put those things on the map. You just need to go to them and scan them. And you just talk. You have to talk like once to Misty at Misty's Esoterica in front of the Ripperdoc Vix. Kill or incapacitate 100 enemies using melee weapons. To be honest, the melee build is probably one of the strongest builds in the game, like using, especially using the katana. So definitely do that. You do that. You spec into reflexes, spec into body, and spec into tech ability. And that's probably the best all-around build, especially if you're only doing one playthrough for the platinum, because you need to spec into the body for the second heart 16. You need at least 18 in crafting, so you might as well just spec all 20 into technical ability. To protect and serve, we talked about that. Judy versus Night City. Full body conversion. Install at least one implant in each system in the body part. So there's different. If you go around, you go into the menu for cyberware, right? You need to have a cyberware in each different slot, right? And that's why, doing the money glitches or the money exploits with crafting so important, so that you can spend all the money you want on the Ripperdoc. Like, I'm telling you, you want to. At various points in the game, you're going to want to have Sandevistan, you're going to want to have the Berserk, you're going to want to have the Ram deck, right? And then you're going to want to have all the other different things on the body there to get the full body conversion. Okay, Bushido and Chill, we talked about that, the Rogue storyline. So you want to be, when you get that chipping in mission, you want to read all the guides on that and be very careful, because there's a lot of missable things in that chipping in mission. Gung Fu, kill or incapacitate 3 enemies in quick succession with a revolver and pistol in close contact. All right, so this is another one where switching weapons, specking in reflexes, and using a Sandevistan makes sense, right? So, one of the things I advocate in terms of like XP accumulation is you want to be switching weapons. So you're specking into reflexes, that gives you the revolver skills. You'll be more powerful in revolvers, and you also want to upgrade those things. So Gung Fu, if you got the Sandevistan, you got the gun, you're upgrading your revolvers to max level because you got the technical ability. You should be able to get this at one point without really trying. The world, complete the main storyline. So this is not missable, right? Not missable at all. So Legend of the Afterlife, need to hit max street cred. We got lots of videos telling you how to maximize street cred and get XP, but not really missable. You should be able to get that. Even if you complete the main storyline, you're not max street cred. To get to, anyways, get into max street cred is like a prerequisite for getting the regional trophies. Okay, True Soldier, kill and incapacitate 300 enemies using ranged weapons. I don't know how you can miss this, really. That it's definitely not missable, but I mean, you shouldn't even be trying for this, because if you're clearing out Watson and doing all the scanner hustles, that you're gonna kill over 300 with ranged weapons, right? So don't do pure melee, and you never use a gun. So you want to use some guns sometimes. That would be the issue for that one. Life on the Road, Pan Am's storyline. So most people do that. More people do Pan Am's storyline than actually complete the main quest, which is kind of surprising. Talk to Hanako Arasaka, not missable, must do that. Christmas Tree Attack, complete Breach Protocol with a minimum of 3 Daemon uploaded. So you need to play with a RAM deck on to get this, right? So for Breach Protocol, right, you have to have a RAM deck on, right? I got a Breach Protocol video on how to maximize it. You're looking for these red things on the map, but you're not going to see them without the RAM deck on. You're not going to be able to do Breach Protocol. You need to do these in hostile areas, right? Don't sweat it if you get like 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3 or 0 out of 3. If you get 0 out of 3, you can do it again. You're going to get lots of opportunities if you have your RAM deck on. If you're don't have your RAM deck on, you won't be able to do this. Hermit, find all Cunningham, not missable, totally story thing. Wheel of Fortune, Anders Hellman, not missable. Main story, Stanislavski method. Choose those life path options. It is missable, but you get many of them, but don't wait until the end of the game to start choosing those. Right back at you, kill or incapacitate an enemy who threw a grenade at you. So you just have to kill somebody that threw a grenade at you. I don't think you have to throw that. It has nothing to do with the grenade. So it's like 45% of people got that. The lovers steal the relic. So like it's like almost as common as getting to Act 2. So it's like almost impossible not to get. And then the fool, become a mercenary. I think that just start the prologue. Okay, there you go. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Cyberpunk 2077. Good luck, chooms. Let me know which one you had the hardest trouble with.